All right, class in this session, I'm going to do a quick one. I'm going to try to cover real quick 3 different criminal cases because what I'd like to show is by using criminal cases, we get to look in the private side of women's lives, which they often keep secret, which I always say they should. But when you have a criminal case, the private lives that the people were leading become public information. And information is what helps us learn the game, learn the game better because women are not going to offer up information to us about a lot of the private stuff that they do or whatever, the how they make decisions and stuff like that, because that would then give us more power. They don't want us to have more power. It's just how human mating works, right? Because sexuality is their most powerful agency. They do not want to lose the power of that agency, right? By giving men information, by men learning this information. That's why they don't like men. Oh, you're learning that stuff. You're a loser. They don't want us to learn this information. And if you do learn the information, they'll try to act like, oh, that's not true. That's not all women are like that. Whatever. But anyway, so it doesn't. It's not strategic for men to learn about women's private sexual lives, in general, how they operate. But for men, for us to learn it, it helps us because then we know how to apply our strategies, right? And we were told there's a large narrative, and women like to sell the narrative because it helps them in their strategy. And the strategy the narrative they like to portray is that they're good girls and that some guys or they're they don't they treat all guys the same and they're very good and they don't have sex, but it has to be you have to earn it, and it only goes to the covetous ones, and if they check off these checklists that they have and they do certain things, and then they'll think about it very hard, and they're not really, they don't care to have sex. It's not a big deal to them, and all that poo-pooing away to make you think that okay, we all have an even playing field, so I'll just put my bid in, and she'll if Roger has a bid in and Bob has a bid in, she'll treat us the same, and whoever wins out, no. Some men get, the men that they're highly desirous of get sex quickly, and they break rules for that guy. The guy can live with mom, and he could have 10 kids, and he could be a felon. We've seen this. But she's highly desirous of him, so she'll have sex with him quickly. Now, if you're Beta Bob, she might, think you're really nice, and you're very nice to your cats, and you did win the spelling bee that one year, and and you probably make a lot of money. So, you know what? After about 90 days, you'll go ahead and get this precious gift that I have between my legs. So again, she treats people different. Is she making rules for you? You're beta. Is she breaking rules for you? You're alpha. So in these 3 cases, I just want to show that these women go out to bars, they come home, they have an after party, and each one of these incidents, and it's very normal, and they're good girls, they're great girls, they're not 304s, no such thing. Women are 304s for the men they want to be 304s for. They're not SLUTs, they're just behaving like the good women they are and operating in their normal sexual behavior that they normally do. And especially young women, they get invited out especially after going out to clubs and stuff like that. There's usually an after party, and a lot of times, especially if they're very attractive, they will always have an opportunity to go to an after party. And what happens at after parties? Threesomes, fivesomes, sixsomes, whatever. But I used to work security out. Like I said, I was used to police officer for 22 years. I worked security at a country western bar and did it for a couple years. And, usually, every once in a while, by the end of the night, it was usually an employee, but every once in a while, take a girl home, and that was her saying, hey, can I follow you home, blah, blah, blah. And she'd follow me home to my place, and there you go. So it's a nice place to work. Bars are a great place to meet women. All right, so here we go.
Broward County crime scene technician Bob Surratt, while he was doing his investigation, he went through all the rooms, is when he saw the videotapes and said, I think you need to come see this.
You don't even know it worked. That's what I said, play it back and give me that thing, eject that thing.
Okay. That's Bob Casey. He's murdered. He owns a club called the Nickelodeon Club in Miramar, Florida. That's his girlfriend. Really cool girl. She doesn't mind. It's nice, sexy. She doesn't mind being recorded, having sex. She's not a 304. She's just a woman being cool.
Military mind versus water plants.
Now I tell you people, whoever's going to watch this, should this man be institutionalized or what?
Of course.
Hundreds of hours of videotapes. Andy taped his own house. He taped the inside of his house. He taped his bedroom. He taped his sex acts with his girlfriend. In fact, the police noted that in 400 hours of videotape that they examined, it was difficult to find Sikarsky with clothes on. And then they found something that changed the entire case.
Bob Surratt. He was observing I think it was the south wall.
So he's got video cameras up. I'm going to move it towards he's got video cameras up. This all happened in 1994. And here we go. This is going to be the robbery. But what we're noticing here is the guys are coming in. But prior to these guys coming in, this, young lady, here, and a young lady right here, they're in their 20s, they're beautiful, wonderful women, and they've decided to, after the club closed, to come hang out with this guy, and they're probably going to have a little threesome is what they were going to do, right? Not saying for sure, but again, that's usually what an after party is. They ain't, they have homes of their own or whatever. They have places to stay. They don't need to be with him, right? So they don't know him. This is the first time, like I said, they were strangers up until this moment. They met at the club, I guess, and they decided to have a little after party at his place, for whatever reason, right? So, yeah, I mean, this happens all the time. This is how women behave. I'm a good girl. I don't, Anyway, and these girls will be on church on Sunday. Not a big deal. I mean, it's just unnecessary what they're doing. I mean, they were complying. All right, so that's the robbery. I'll link the Pablo Ibar, but he deserved. And so how he got caught was, I think, like 2 weeks later, he did another home invasion. Had a whole family, same thing, doing the same thing. Probably was gonna, luckily someone got away, called the police, and they had a shootout with the police. And then he got arrested during that event, and then he's, charged with this one. And the Spanish government ended up putting up $1 million, and anyway, you'll see it. But let me go to another case. Look it up, Miramar murders. But the point of that one is to show that women go and have after parties. Not a big deal, okay? Next, I'll go to the Wade Wilson case right here. Wade Wilson was a felon.
Yes, that's the main entrance to the bar.
The handsome felon.
And at this time, the state would move 7.
This young lady's with the girl Wade Wilson murders. It's her friend. They're out at a bar together, her and her friend. That's why she's testifying. And Wade Wilson ends up meeting up with them, and he murders her friend. But they go to an after party. Here we go.
Evidence.
Any objection? No. You admit it.
Permission to publish.
You may.
Wade Wilson, handsome felon. That's what they say.
Do you have any specific reason the two of you chose the Buddha on that night?
There was live music there that night, so we wanted to go see a band play.
When you got there, what was just sort of the general environment of the bar?
It wasn't overly crowded. There was, a decent amount of people there that night, dancing, drinking.
Having a good
Nothing
time.
out of the ordinary from a typical bar.
Was there a band playing?
Yes.
Now, were you friendly and did you talk to other people that were there?
Yeah, we socialized quite a bit. There's a couple of different bars in the main bar, and we were down at one bar, we danced, we got drinks at other bars, we talked to the people that were there. Pretty standard going out night.
Now, obviously you're drinking and listening to music this entire time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had been drinking pretty heavily that night.
And is that why you chose to get an Uber?
Yes, yeah, we both knew we were going to be drinking, so we didn't want to be driving at all.
Now, while you were there, did someone approach you?
Yeah, towards the end of the night, as we were walking up to the upstairs bar, somebody jumped out in front of me, kind of just like to get my attention, and said, "Hey, who's your friend?" And gestured towards Christine. And he seemed friendly and introduced himself, and I grabbed Christine and said, "Hey, this guy wants to meet you."
What was his demeanor?
Friendly, charming.
Was there any
He's hot. That's why she introduced him to her friend. I said this in the other video.
flags that popped up when you were talking to him?
No red flags, because he's hiding the red flags because he's a beta male shapeshifter.
No.
How did he introduce himself to you?
At
He's also a beta male. He's a liar.
one point, he introduced himself as JR.
His name's Wade Wilson.
JR sitting in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Wade Wilson.
Please point to him and identify an article.
Hey, JR.
Right there in a bright
Fucking
blue.
loser.
Let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
Okay.
Now, has his appearance changed since the time that you met him?
Yes, he has a lot more tattoos on his face.
He looks a lot more
Didn't have
nutty.
Any facial tattoos.
May I
than
approach
we
a
met
witness?
him.
You met.
At this time, the state showing what's been marked as State's Exhibit 39. Would you take a look at State's Exhibit number 39 and tell me if you recognize that exhibit?
Yes.
What do you recognize it to be?
JR, the person who
The
introduced
liar.
himself to us that night.
And is he the same person sitting here in court today?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the big
Does
liar
this
over there.
accurately represent how he looked back on October 6th of 2019.
Exactly.
At this time the state would move 39 into evidence.
No objection. It'll be admitted.
Permission to publish.
You met.
Now listen to this. Looks do matter. Listen to what she says.
Now, after you introduced him to Christine, what happened next?
Christine and I and JR and another man, Jason, who we were introduced to by JR, talked at the bar, mingled. Christine and JR seemed to be interested in each other. Me and Christine had commented on how he had dimples, and one of the guys she had been talking
She's trying to say he's really hot.
earlier in the night only had one dimple, and he had two dimples. And, she definitely was attracted to him, and he seemed attracted to her, and they were friendly and getting to know each other.
Now, you mentioned that JR introduced you to someone by the name of Jason.
Yes, so there was another man that he was with at the bar named Jason, and I was under the impression that they were there together as friends, just like me and Christine had been.
At some point, did you take your talking and socializing outside of the bar?
Yeah, so that was at the end of the night, and the bar was...
Bar is closing. What happens? After party.
So they were kind of shuffling everybody out the door. Christine and I went outside and we're still continuing to socialize with JR and Jason until, it was decided to leave. And me and Christine had came in an Uber, so we followed Jason and JR to their car. JR had tossed the keys over to Jason and we were gonna go after party. I didn't know at that point if we were going back to Christine's house or where we were headed from there, but we were going together.
Now, when you went into the parking lot, everybody's talking. Again, describe the mood.
Happy. Everybody was cheerful, intoxicated, but there wasn't anything out of the ordinary or scary by any means. Just typical end of the bar night.
Now, is this around 2 a.m. that the bar's closing and kicking everybody out?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So everything was closing at that point.
Again, as far as JR's concerned, does he exhibit any kind of anger or any kind of red flags?
No, not at all.
And in fact, you and Christine thought he was charming?
Mm-hmm.
Psychopaths can be charming.
You mentioned that JR threw the keys over to Jason.
Mm-hmm.
What type of car was it that you got in?
It was a Dodge Hellcat, I think it's called.
Whose car did you believe that was?
I believed it was Jason's at that.
It was actually Wade Wilson's girlfriend who he's cheating on right now.
Yeah.
When you got it,
Yeah.
you believed it was Jason's car?
I don't really remember. I just know Jason was driving at that time, so my assumption was that it was his car.
Where did everybody sit in the car?
Jason sat in the front seat, Christine sat in the passenger seat, and then me and JR were in the back seat.
Now, where did you end up going?
We drove not very far. It was only a couple of turns, maybe less than 10 minutes in the car, but we ended up at Jason's house.
May I approach the witness?
Me.
For the record, I'm showing defense counsel that has been previously marked as case exhibits number 8 and 9. I'm showing you states exhibits number 8 and 9. Will you please take a look at those exhibits and tell me if you recognize them?
This is the car that we left the Buddha in.
States exhibit number 8.
8.
And does that fairly and accurately represent the way the car appeared when you got in it that night?
Yes.
Showing you states exhibit number 9. What does states exhibit number 9 show?
This is Jason's house.
Is this the house where you went to after the bar closed?
Yes, I remember that star on the house.
Your Honor, at this time the state will move 8 and 9 into evidence.
Objection.
Permission to publish.
You may.
You just told the jurors this is the Hellcat that you all got in?
Yes, ma'am.
And then states exhibit number 9. That's Jason's house.
Yes.
When you arrived at Jason's home, was anyone else present?
Yeah, his mom was home. So when we walked in the front door, his mom was awake and on the couch and not very happy that he was bringing people home. We tried to make small talk and, kind of ease the situation, but we just ended up going to Jason's bedroom, which was down the hall from there.
When you got back into Jason's bedroom, what happened with Christine and JR?
So pretty quickly after getting to Jason's house,
What are they gonna do? They're gonna bang.
Christine and JR started having sex.
And when they started having sex, what did you and Jason do?
Jason had a bedroom that led to the outside, so Jason and I hung out outside most of the time.
So there you go. That's your proof that, then they talk about what they did. They stayed there for 2 hours and they were banging. And so it happens. Christine was a good girl. This lady's a good girl. No No such thing as 304s. Women are 304s. For the men, they want to be 304s for. And the last one, this will be very fast, will be these two ladies, beautiful ladies, Christy and Hilda. Let's see here. Let's see. Try to make it quick. And so these ladies are in LA, and they go out for a night of partying, and this loser gets them in the VIP section. He's a total loser, acts like he's a big shot, like millionaire, drives a Prius, and he drugs women. There he is, the big loser.
Our prosecutor, Mary Fulgeniti. So at best, a con man. At worst,
a criminal, a sexual predator, a drug dealer,
a murderer.
a murderer.
Yes, and just want to get to the part where, here it is, right here's a good one. All right, here we go.
While still at the warehouse party. Do you want Coke? Asks Hilda. Yes, replies Christy. Hilda texted back, I'm in the kitchen, let's do a line. According to the police affidavit, a witness observed Pierce provide what looked like cocaine to Giles and Cabrales, who consumed it.
So, Christy and Hilda here, Hilda's from Monterrey, Mexico, summa cum laude from University of, I believe, Monterrey, very smart, and Christy was married. They were it was Hilda's birthday the next day. So these are not, yes, they were doing, drugs or whatever, just a quick, whatever. Not trying to be, judgmental or anything, but it looks like it was laced with fentanyl. And then they get drugged when they go to a house afterwards, and they go to an after party. And that's basically, and the reason I've got to be careful is because 48 hours is pretty...
Timeline in the affidavit, Christy remained in that apartment for the next 11 hours. Hilda for 13, with one of them, according to a neighbor, moaning and groaning in pain most of the day.
So I just want to be quick on that one. But that's Hilda and Christy. They went in LA, they went out, they met some guy, that guy I was telling you about, and he supplied them drugs, which oftentimes beta males do that to get sex. And then they go to his place. This is this is showing on the screen right now. And while they're at that place, they didn't like the vibe. So they called an Uber. The Uber, they were texting each other, and the one girl told the other girl, hey, it'll be here in 10 minutes. But the Uber came, waited 5 minutes, and they never came out. And so who knows what happened there. But anyway, they were given something. One of the girls had GHB in her system. One girl had MDMA and fentanyl and cocaine in her system. So they were given something, and it killed them both. But these guys were such losers. They kept them there all night, and then they just dropped them at two separate hospitals, just dumped them on the emergency room, front door, and left, So anyway, the guy's going on trial. He might have already been convicted for it. I'll check that out. But I'll put all three of these stories in the description. But my point in all these is these were great girls. They went out, had after parties. It's not about bad things happen on after parties. It's girls have after parties. Good girls, married girls. This girl was in summa cum laude from Monterrey University. The other girl was working a full-time job, had her own place. The one with Wade Wilson had her own place, had her own car. Paid her own bills. That was her friend. They were doing a girls' night out, and she met a hot-looking guy, and after the after party, he decided to choke her out, I guess. It's just crazy, right? And then the other one, the two girls go out and, they happen to, be there the night there's a home invasion. I mean, that would just, what can you say? Bad luck? Just terrible luck, whatever you want to say. Wrong place, wrong time. They picked the wrong night to go to after party. So, but anyway, that's what I want to say as far as that goes. The more you learn about, and I'll finish with this is, I want men to be unapologetic when you have to go in direct with women. Don't be afraid to push. If a woman likes you, she'll have sex with you. If she doesn't like you, she won't have sex with you. So if you get a no early on, then you know. Okay? Every woman has gone to an after party. Every woman has had sex on her first date. Every woman has had sex with a super hot guy that she really liked, and she has sex with him passionately and quickly. And she remembers that guy. So what I want to say is only date high interest women. Those will more than likely have sex with you quickly because they have genuine burning desire. It's about the genuine burning desire. It's not about the sex. It's about the desire to have sex with you, right? A woman can be, raring to go and wanting to bang you, and you can say, you know what? I want to do it in 2 weeks. I mean, that could be you, right? I mean, I'm just saying she needs to have the desire, But if a woman is putting you off, women have sex with the men they want to have sex with is what I always say. So as you see here, going to after parties, and if they're telling you got to wait 10 days, just be unapologetic, be upfront, be bold. Don't be, oh, I can't ask. She'll think I'm, they already know what you want. They've guys have asked them for sex on a first date before. Do not be afraid to push things towards sex, because when you do, you'll know very quickly when a woman, how she responds to you turning things sexual, and again, appropriately and flirtatiously, and but if she really, really likes you, you can get sexual really quick and really direct, and she'll be about it, But if she doesn't like you, she'll, oh my God, oh, she get that. Now she doesn't like you. You just saved yourself. Let's say you spent 30 minutes with her. You just saved yourself 3 hours, because when she says no at 30 minutes, she was going to say no at 3 hours. Trust me, she would. Okay? That's the point I want to make in this video. We'll see you in the next one.